Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to another episode of Nerd Up. This week, I've got Dalton Anthony.
Yo.
Asa Gray.
Yes.
And Lindsay Wolfgong.
Hi.
And I'm your host, Jesse Kimball. All right, guys, don't have a whole ton of stuff to talk about today, but we are going to talk about that Red Dead news. We're definitely going to talk about that Joker movie news. But first, Kingsman 3 has been confirmed for November 8th, 2019. So 1 year from my birthday, which means it's my birthday. Happy birthday to Jesse. Matthew Vaughn will be back writing and directing, and I'm really excited about it.
And he did the first two, right?
Mm-hmm. And they are both incredible films that I love a whole lot. So, yeah, I'm really, really excited about this.
You sure do.
I do
The,
so much.
the day that it was one of the nights when you were closing, and you're like, Dalton, we have to watch this movie.
And you loved it.
Oh, yeah, no, I did. I need to watch two.
It's your John Wick.
It really is. Like, yeah, no, that's extremely accurate. But anyway, really excited for this movie. We don't have a title for it yet or anything along those lines. We just know it's coming out. It'll have the same writer and director, which, cool.
Which is good because he's made it work so far.
He has so well. So well. All right. And you may have remembered last week we talked about a new director for James Bond. Well, we have another new director for James Bond.
No, this is my understanding is they are now writing it. Like they are being brought back onto the project, and then they helped find the director.
Okay.
I don't think the first two people have left the project.
Gotcha. That makes a little bit more sense.
I think they came in to rework the screenplay because the screenplay was written by the director who quit.
Right.
And or got fired. I don't think we know.
Yeah, we don't. We know they are no longer with the project, and that's pretty much it. All right, so
I will double check that real quick though. But I am pretty excited for the new person.
Yeah, because the new person is Cary Fukunaga, and we also got a release date, February 14th, 2020. So it looks like they're hitting Valentine's Day for a Bond release. That'll be fun. I'm sure.
But the reason I'm really excited for him is because he directed the first. I don't know if he was the showrunner too, but he definitely directed the first season of True Detective. Yeah. I almost said American Vandal. Definitely not that.
No, definitely not
the
that.
first season of True Detective, which was amazing.
I've always heard it was really good.
Loved that show. Still can't bring myself to watch the second season. Mm-hmm. Part of it's because it was spoiled for me. Part of it is because all of the people who I would talk about the first season with and be super excited about it with, they watched the second season, and anytime I talk to them about it, the sadness in their eyes just kind of
I haven't seen
manifested.
It yet.
I have not heard very good things.
Oh well, dang it! I'm gonna need you to watch
ideal.
it so then you can tell me how bad it is.
No, I mean I don't have HBO Go, and also like I said, it's already been spoiled for me, so I don't really care. But that first season was so good.
Might have to check it out on HBO Go because I'm running out of shows to watch quickly.
It's so good. Matthew McConaughey was in it. It was Matthew McConaughey, Woody Harrelson, Alexandra Daddario.
Sold.
Yeah,
we're done.
No, yeah, it's a really, really, really good show.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff.
It takes this weird turn, you think it could end up being a thing, and then it's wait, what's going on?
All right, well, speaking of HBO, HBO's Watchmen is going to be scored by 9 Inch Nails.
Sweet.
That's a band I haven't heard in a long time.
It's one of those you're just I didn't know you guys were still together, let alone making music. Good for you.
I know the name.
Shannon does quite a bit of 9 Inch Nails, so it does not surprise me you would know the name.
Well, to be fair, I knew the name before Shannon. Thank you.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I didn't know 9 Inch Nails was doing stuff before you and Shannon knew each other.
It's an older band.
I mean
it is.
I had other friends that listened to them.
No offense.
Not myself.
Fair. Yeah, no, I mean, they did get kind of popular back in the early aughts. Were they in the 90s?
I think they were in the 90s,
sure they were 90s, because I think one of my cousins also listened to them a lot.
I'm on it.
Yeah. Because I know my little brother listened to a lot of 9 Inch Nails. I liked a bit of their stuff, but for the most part, it wasn't really my music.
I'm waiting for Google to be are you sure you wanted 9 Inch Nails?
Which is surprising to me.
Rock band founded in 1988.
Oh, God.
You were way off.
So far off.
I wasn't even thought of yet.
I was born.
I was 5.
I did not know that Nine Inch Nails had been around that long. Holy crap.
I was pretty sure it was older than that.
They're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I mean, I did know that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know they had been around that long. Well, okay.
When you come here, you did not know you were going to get 9 Inch Nails trivia today.
Right?
Welcome to Nerd Up.
Yeah, you're welcome, Internet.
Because we know you forgot about it, too.
Right? So, looks like a little bit of news out of Disney and some Marvel stuff. First of all, Disney CEO Bob Iger was asked about X-Men. His response said, only makes sense for Kevin Feige to oversee the X-Men once the merger is all finalized and settled, which it's not huge news, but this is the only thing we've gotten from Disney about this merger and X-Men.
Yeah, this is very much just like water is wet.
Yeah.
Movies pertaining to Marvel characters will be overseen by Kevin Feige, the man who has overseen every movie on Marvel characters.
Well, because he also said that it doesn't make sense for there to be two Marvels. So basically...
Well, I'm happy that
Eventually,
one
they'll
company
be
sees
together.
that.
No, see, but there has been a theory that when Marvel starts using X-Men and Fantastic Four, it isn't going to be in the same continuity.
Right.
It'll be like a reboot at that point.
Not necessarily a reboot, but because so we would have like the MCU that we have now.
Okay.
And then we would have like the X-Men cinematic universe.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
That did not, because they've really shot themselves in the foot with a lot of the ways that they could reintroduce mutants, or they could introduce mutants into the MCU, because every good idea that they've had, they wasted on Inhumans.
Very true. And I mean, that's one of the big things that we're wondering about, because this is the first thing, like a lot of people were thinking that maybe Disney would just let Fox Studios keep doing what they were doing. You know, like they draw the paycheck, but they just get to keep 21st Century Fox just gets to keep making X-Men movies like they were before. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Fantastic Four even. But, well, almost certainly not with Fantastic Four after the dumpster fire that was the last movie. But for X-Men, at the very least, it's still popular and it's making a bunch of money. So they would probably... There was a theory that Disney was just going to let them keep doing what they were doing. So this at least tells us that Kevin Feige will be in charge of it, which likely means that they're going to somehow get introduced to the MCU. That's not necessarily the case, but this basically... It's more concrete than what we've had since this even got brought up.
It's the first time that they have acknowledged that the Marvel movies are now going to include X-Men.
Right.
Like that there are plans to do X-Men movies under the Marvel banner.
So like Kevin Feige's just sitting at home like a child on Christmas, knowing that they're going to get one toy that they know, just like, I want to play with a Wolverine. I want to play with Wolverine. I'll go turn off the phone.
No, but this is also something like, this is clearly that the X-Men movies were very clearly part of the negotiations with Fox. Like that had to have been the principal thing, or a principal aspect of it. So it's not like, oh, hey, so we've already made Infinity War 2, whatever that's going to be called. Did you see the Instagram thing?
No.
The Russo brothers posted a picture on Instagram, and they said that if you look closely, the name of the movie is hidden there, and no one can agree what it says.
I'm on it.
I bet that was just them trolling, too.
No, I mean, there are clearly letters places, but no one can really... No one's coming to a consensus of what it says. But anyway, I mean, so Feige knew he was going to have to eventually incorporate the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. I still very much think that something's going to happen with time. Mm-hmm. Like, we're going to get time travel in the next Avengers movie, and that's how some effery happens there that...
Yeah, that would not surprise me at all. Like that, time travel ends up bringing them in somehow, or like messes with it.
Or even just like the ultimate, like, because I would be surprised if they used the same cast that they've been using
for X-Men.
For X-Men, well, definitely they will not use the same cast as Fantastic Four. They can't, because
Michael B. Jordan has already moved on to bigger and better things.
Human Torch kind of looks real familiar.
Yeah,
like that would be a hilarious bit.
That would be very
for like
funny.
They bring in the King of Wakanda
split
they bring in the King of Wakanda to tour the Baxter Building so they can work together on stuff, and he just keeps like side-eyeing the Human Torch. It's like
that would be hilarious.
Or they go all the way back, Chris Evans' Torch again.
That would be funny.
They just kind of keep seeing, like, Cap meets Torch, like,
That's what they do with Deadpool. Like, that's when they need to bring Deadpool.
Oh,
in.
just have all three of them in the same room. Don't I know you? I know you. You look familiar.
I still very.
Just have them three-way it. That would be amazing.
I
be
still
really
really
funny.
wanted the scene where it's Doctor Strange and Iron Man arguing, and someone says, "Yeah, no, Sherlock," and they both kind of stop and look.
That would also be pretty great. No, there's a lot of ways
But
that this could be awesome.
I think that they're just going to, like, torched Earth, like salt the Earth. None of that happened. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool is the most likely thing that we get that carries over.
Yeah, I honestly like.
And that would be a lot of fun. I know a lot of people aren't super on board with like the fourth wall breaking humor,
It's fine.
but I want that. I want Ryan Reynolds to know that, okay, Disney has bought, like, all of my friends look different now.
yeah, no, that'd be
one's the same.
hilarious.
Yeah, and I mean, in complete fairness, like the Deadpool movies, with the exception of that one throwaway scene and several lines, is very separate from the rest of the MCU or the rest of the X-Men
X-Men.
universe.
It's in the it takes place in the universe, but it's not reliant on the.
Yeah, like I said, the
Timeline.
like a few throwaway lines in that one throwaway scene are the only bits of evidence we have
Man,
that they're
I
all
mean,
together.
I don't know, because like, especially with the second one taking such a big part in the Xavier School,
Right.
that seems a little more.
But we didn't see any of that. Like
I mean,
I
yeah,
said,
we don't see any of them, and even in the first movie, he's like, really, we could only afford Colossus and
and yeah, Negasonic Teenage, and like you know,
Yeah.
joke about her name.
Right.
This means we won't
Well,
have James.
we love Colossus.
If we can keep James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender.
No, I mean, like I'm fine with it, but at the same time,
Oh, yeah,
like
I'm not saying I want them to do that. I very much do not think that they are going to.
I know, but I just realized how much I really enjoy
Yeah.
those characters. Like everybody else, I really could care less about. But Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique was pretty good too.
I personally would be completely shocked if they didn't go Scorched Earth and completely reboot X-Men.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, that's what they did with like Spider-Man.
yeah.
yeah, nothing about Spider-Man carried over like from either of the previous runs, like Amazing and the Tobey Maguire, the Sam Raimi trilogy. It would shock me if they didn't go Scorched Earth on it and just go back to like the 5 OG X-Men,
Right.
which means we'd get more Bobby Drake. Because
Yeah, it's that.
we didn't really get much. Was he in
Not
First
in the
Class?
reboot. No.
No.
He was.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
After X-Men 3. Well, he was in Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
But he was getting his A handed to him by the Sentinels.
Well, I mean, they
multiple
all
times.
were.
They all were.
It's not like
that
it
was
was only
basically a
him.
mutant snuff film. Like,
Yeah.
Future Past
It
really was.
rough.
But like
Wolverine
Iceman
fixed
got
it.
Iceman got wrecked on both of those scenes really hard.
The
yeah, Colossus
so-
got wrecked pretty hard too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
The not funny one.
so do you think that they like were starting early in Xavier's career, or do you, whenever they bring him in, or do you think like, okay, well now the X-Men are an established team with an established school and mutants are real, but they were in MCU too, but now with the events of Infinity War, MCU 2 and MCU are now being pushed together, and you have this whole new team, whole new cast, but now all of a sudden that's how they bring in.
Yeah, my guess is, I still don't know. Like, I kind of like the idea of mutants kind of like getting away with like, oh, they're inhuman, because we know those are a thing.
See, but they're hated.
I
Like,
know.
they're just as hated as the mutants. I think it was the Kind of Funny guys were talking about this a couple weeks ago, and one of them had the idea of mutants have always been a thing, but Charles Xavier was using his powers to keep the like awareness down, so no one really knew that mutants were around. And
Yeah, they have, like, a,
and now something happens with the snap or time travelness where like, okay, well now people are aware that there are mutants, and it's basically they just fill.
I mean, they could
the
even
Inhuman
go
role.
with like Xavier and Magneto are like straight up a mutant Men in Black situation going, where like anytime there's a mutant event, they go in like beep to wipe the
Nope.
minds.
Yeah.
But then, like, you know, Magneto, they have their splitting off point, and after the Inhumans, maybe it was harder to deal with when the Inhumans came around.
Right.
So they had their kind of falling out. Magneto's created his Brotherhood.
Because Xavier wants to help the Inhumans too, but Magneto thinks it should only be
Humans.
only be the mutants because they're the ones born with the gene, whereas the Inhumans have to be exposed to this mist that.
Right. So, yeah, like that's something they very much could do, and that would actually make more sense for the whole split between them and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd personally be all right with that. And then you have, just Xavier with his OG team of Beast, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Bobby Drake, and Angel.
Mm-hmm.
Iceman and Angel, whichever you want to call him. And Marvel Girl, I think, was Jean Grey's original title.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that would be awesome.
It'll be interesting to see. It's just we're not going to see any of it for 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
Man.
I'd be surprised if we didn't get something very shortly after the merger went through. Because my guess, they have been working on this since they
Started talks. They just had to make it legal.
See, I don't know how much they would have worked on it though. I'm sure they have stories. I would be surprised if Kevin Feige did not have people that had a story set for it. But I don't think they would have put a lot of resources behind it until it was official.
Yeah,
because then you're just kind of, I know you have money to spare, but you're burning resources. And I also don't know the legality of doing things like that.
Yeah, no, basically, I'm not saying that we're going to get a trailer right afterward.
Oh, yeah, no.
But, I think that we'll get an announcement about it right after it's completed.
Oh, I'm sure they will make an announcement that they're doing one.
And that,
I'm surprised we haven't already gotten that. But what I'm saying is we're not actually going to see the movie
for
it's
gonna be a while.
5 years.
I don't think it'll be that long.
3, I would put the upper
Gotta
end
remember,
of 3.
Disney's good at cranking stuff out.
I mean, yeah, they're going to be working those people like dogs.
And I think they have. I think they already have a script.
See, that's what I mean. I'm sure they have a story set in place, probably.
Yeah.
But there's only so much work you can do for these practical effects and starting the casting process.
Like I said, I would personally be surprised if we didn't see this film released before the end of 2020.
No, it's already we're at the end of 2018, man.
I know.
It
I'm
can
just
happen.
saying. I don't think that they have
I like
been-
the way he thinks, Asa.
I mean, I would I'm not hoping you're wrong. I also very much don't want them to rush it.
Yeah.
No, and what I'm
Because-
saying is I think that they have done way more than they probably should have, and put way more resources behind them because they were sure that this was a sure thing, because
Yeah.
Disney's got more than enough money to throw around at it. So, I think that they are much further in the planning process than they probably legally should be.
I mean,
And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just realistically, if for the length of time it takes to make a movie.
Yeah, no, very much if they only have the script done.
Because for example, they to even get a new director on board and to rework a screenplay, they had all of the casting already done. You have to imagine Bond got pushed back 2 years. It's February 14th, 2020, and they were shooting for early 2019, I think.
Yeah, they were originally pushing for early 2019.
So I don't. Even with having all of that already done,
it wouldn't even surprise me a little bit, though, if, the Russo brothers, and I'm not saying it's the Russo brothers, but, Russo brothers don't already have a script ready. Because I don't think there's anything...
No, they definitely have a script ready.
I feel like there's absolutely nothing illegal about that.
Oh, yeah, no, you can write
Because
you just can't profit off of it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, it's going to be one of those, the second the merger gets done, be like, all right, well, we have our script done, let's start casting.
Yeah, because they could always just, say that they're casting for something else.
Right.
And just
Like
be
a
this
Codename project.
This team of, we were making a Runaways movie. Oh, well, it turns out we're reworking the script now that it's going to be X-Men.
Yeah, I mean, they could have done any number of things about it, but, I would be surprised if a script is all they have done.
Yeah.
I am confident they have a script ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And
If
probably
not,
casting not done, but some
they
feelers
probably have
out there.
they probably have some feelers out there for casting. They almost certainly have at least a director in mind.
I'm still calling it. Captain Marvel was part of it was snapped away. That page was it was a red herring. She's not even going to be in Avengers. The person who saves the day, Dr. Doom.
I would like to see that.
He saves the day, reverts to reality, but now he's in charge.
You just want to see that.
I would.
I mean,
myself.
yeah, clearly.
Well, speaking of Captain Marvel, though, we did get a trailer finally.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the crap out of this trailer. Lindsay seems less than impressed. What's up,
I
Lindsay?
can't get excited about this movie at all.
Why?
I don't know. I just can't.
Did you watch the trailer?
Yes, I did. The only part I found amusing is the fact that she crashed into a Blockbuster.
Yeah, that was pretty
That was
awesome.
pretty
How do you know it's the 90s?
Blockbuster.
yeah.
There's a blockbuster.
I don't know. I just can't get excited about it.
Again,
Maybe my mind will change when I see another trailer, but like I just
for me, it's the same thing as Ant-Man and Wasp, where I think this movie looks really, really good, and I'm excited to see it, but I don't care.
yeah, that's about where I am.
Give me Infinity War Part 2,
Uh-huh.
because you left me on a huge cliffhanger,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Boy, did they.
I
Like,
want to know how that resolves.
I
And
still kind of don't care, but I'm more excited about Aquaman
And it's-
than this.
it's the same thing too, where it's. I mean,
That's a bold. That's a hot take.
It's
I forgot
Jason
that
Momoa.
was not a bit. That's
Jason
not a bit.
Momoa is going to be wet for an hour and a half. Yeah, I mean, the so I mean, it's like it looks good. I also feel like part of the whole like I know she's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Because again,
in
and
every sense. Of the word.
like yeah, it's the pager thing happens, so it's not like she's in trouble. I don't know. It looked great. It looked amazing. I'm excited to see the movie, but it's not the movie that I'm like. That's
Yeah.
not the priority in my head.
I really need video on these podcasts just for that
It
moment.
wouldn't be PG.
Yeah, like we wouldn't be able to post it. Right?
I'm more excited. I'm a little bit happier with the Easter egg and the poster we got
Oh yeah, about the cat.
of Chewie.
Yeah.
that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for this movie, but like only because it's another step towards the next Infinity War.
Right.
Like I think this is going to be a great movie, and I love. I almost said Alison Brie again. Brie Larson. I love Brie Larson, so I'm really excited to see this movie. And Captain Marvel is a cool character, so
that
I'm
thing-
interested to see what they're going to do with her.
The thing I showed you last week of like strength to Scott Pilgrim and
Oh yeah,
to see their exes do and not knives.
Chris
Ramona
Yeah.
and Ramona Flowers to see their exes doing so well.
Oh yeah.
yep. Because they were in, for those that have never seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
How dare you?
They just added it to Netflix. You can fix that problem.
Is it really?
real easy. Yeah.
And go
Yep.
watch
Yeah,
it.
I'm probably
'cause that's
watching that
an
tonight.
amazing
Yeah, I
movie.
watched it like the night I saw it. I was like, I'm throwing this on.
I have it on
I mean, I was
Blu-ray.
gonna, but then I saw they re-added The Breakfast Club, and I went to 80s mode.
Ooh, Jesse, Breakfast Club. We need you to watch that.
Look, I'll watch that when you all come over and watch Kingsman 2. How about that?
That's gonna be a real effed up
That's
movie
a really
night.
weird. Yeah.
I mean,
that's a
I
weird
suggest
combo.
Breakfast Club first.
Switch it halfway through.
You guys don't have to stick around for Breakfast Club. What I'm saying is, I'm not watching Breakfast Club until that happens. How about
Deal.
that?
Got
it. So anyway,
Opening up my Friday night now.
all right. So, yeah, Brie Larson and Chris Evans were both in Scott Pilgrim versus the World as very different roles from their MCU appearances. Highly recommend watching that movie. It is spectacular. It's
so
also
much
got
fun.
Michael Cera in it, Anna
Aubrey
Kendrick,
Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza. Like, it's got a ton of people in it. I didn't even realize we're all in
What's his
that.
name? I can't think of it. It's gonna hurt
Brandon
my brain.
Routh?
No,
Brandon Ruth isn't it? Yeah.
But he was the bad guy. It's really making me mad that I can't think of his name now.
Bad
Jason
what?
Schwartzman.
That guy, yeah.
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
Speaking of Aubrey Plaza, did you see that she's going to play the mom in the Chucky reboot?
I did not.
Don't like that.
Yeah, she's gonna be the mom in the. It's just gonna be called Child's Play, and because it's her and then the kid, which then apparently the current continuity of those movies is gonna get turned into a TV show.
Oh,
I'm
knew
not.
that.
I'm not 100% sure about that, but yeah, they're rebooting Child's Play. I don't know when that's coming out.
Yeah, they're definitely rebooting
'cause I
Child's
saw
Play.
the,
I haven't seen that.
because I sent it to the group
Everything.
chat. I sent it to the group chat. The first look where he looks a little bit like slimmer, like the look of the new Chucky. You don't see a full image, but he looks like smaller. a little
NECA's
bit.
been pumping out Chucky toys recently.
Really?
This like the sculpts and stuff.
Huh. Yeah. But anyway, we also got a little bit more rumor here.
We also got confirmation that the Skrulls are in
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So I'm real interested to see if we go into Secret Wars type deal.
Okay.
Because if we've got Skrulls, we've got Captain Marvel, there's also going to be Kree.
Which we already knew. We've
Like-
seen Kree before.
Yeah.
Like the Kree aren't new. This is the first time we've actually seen the Skrulls.
Right.
And the Skrulls, and clearly we knew like if the Kree are there, the Skrulls are going to eventually be
Yep.
used. But the Skrulls are way more interesting than the Kree because they're the ones who can like shapeshift, and it may turn
Right.
out that
Yeah, that's when we start getting Secret
this
Invasion.
this version of Wasp isn't actually Wasp,
Yeah.
or however they want to go with that. Because I kind of think that might be the follow up to.
Yeah, because we kind of got that with LMDs and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Mm-hmm. But the Skrull were way more terrifying,
And way better.
way better, because it was
Way more
really
impactful.
hard to tell the difference between a Skrull and a regular person because there were no,
And
robotic parts.
And there weren't that many like instances of are you the real you or are you an LMD in that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. one. They did it.
It happened a few times, but for the most part, like it was really just a setup to move on to the virtual world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was an interesting season. But anyway, so we got some more rumor stuff coming for the Disney streaming service. Possibility that Loki and Scarlet Witch will each get their own TV shows exclusively on that streaming service.
I would probably watch both.
Yes.
I would. Like that would get me on the Netflix stream or on the Disney streaming service for sure. If they start doing like MCU heroes with TV shows, especially if they've got the same production quality that like the Netflix Marvel shows do, because those are real good.
I really like Elizabeth Olsen. It'll be interesting to watch a season where she's constantly dropping her accent and picking it back up. And honestly, like if before Infinity War, I would have been very much on board with a Loki show. Which granted, they could always do like a prequel thing, but make death matter.
Yeah,
Marvel.
honestly, like if Disney had confirmed this, because it's important to note that they very much have not.
Right.
If Disney had confirmed this, that would have been a colossal spoiler for Infinity War, because
Which, in fairness, they've already colossally not spoiled Infinity War, but kind of
basically
because
like
all
right
these
now,
movies that we're getting of characters that
we know
should not be
we know
getting
characters that drifted
LeBron
off.
James just
We know the
And the
characters
LeBron.
that drifted away. We'll say that for the people that somehow still haven't seen that movie.
no, this is on you.
Yeah, at this point, really. But yeah, the characters that disappeared or got snapped, whichever way you want to phrase it, those characters are definitely coming back because we already have movies on in the pipeline for them.
Right.
But Loki wasn't one of those characters. So
Loki just got legit snapped.
yeah, in very different, more painful ways. At least as far as we're aware, it's more painful. So
I don't know how much you actually felt. Just like, it's over.
it's true.
Spider-Man felt it.
Yeah, he did.
He don't
He
feel
didn't-
so
he
good.
wasn't feeling so good.
Why do we do this to ourselves? We're
I
the
made
ones
myself
controlling the
sad.
bits.
So yeah, if Loki gets a show and it's not a prequel series, then that would be a pretty significant spoiler for Infinity War. So yeah, I don't know how much credence to give this just for that reason.
But it's interesting to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Also, I think we're getting closer to the DC Universe launching.
We are.
I think it's hasn't
Like
it launched
October
already?
12th, isn't it?
It was either this month or next month.
Well, I hope so because I paid for it, so I need to figure out if I need to log on.
I thought it had I thought it had launched because I thought I saw people because
Universe.
they released the full lineup of TV shows at least.
Right, that are coming to it,
Yeah.
and everything that's on it too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that I had heard that it was either really soon or because I know the beta started up.
Oh,
And I
maybe
didn't
that's
get
what I'm
put in that
because I keep seeing a bunch of ads for it. I keep seeing like a bunch of ads for it, and it keeps saying like join now. So I assumed it had already launched.
I know you can still pre-order it.
Okay.
So, or at least you can still pre-order it if it hasn't launched yet. So I don't know. Dalton will look into it when we move on to the next thing.
'cause I pre-ordered it.
Because we got more Marvel news because there's so much. Chloe Zhao has been tabbed to direct Marvel Studios' The Eternals. So it looks like we're getting an Eternals movie, which that's another one that's going to be like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Who dat?
Yeah, exactly.
No, like I'm asking. I
Indeed,
genuinely
who dat?
I don't know who the Eternals are.
They're another group with a pretty complicated history. They're the protectors of Earth. They were given basically early forms of humans. A group of them were given, I think it's a group of 5. They're very similar to like Titans in Greek myth in terms of naming. Were given basically immortality, super strength, and a bunch of other stuff by these celestial angels that came. They also created some deviants. They're their kind of main bad guy. And apparently these angels did this on a bunch of different planets.
Because they were bored?
Pretty much. They wanted to experiment. Kind of like what the Kree did, I guess, with humans. But yeah, and there's even one plot line. I don't know if it's been retconned or not. I'm pretty sure it's been retconned. But in one plot line, Thanos is an Eternal of planet Titan. Which is why he can't die in that story, but obviously it's different in the MCU. Maybe it's different in the MCU. But yeah, we're getting an Eternals movie. And I find it interesting that we're getting an Eternals movie because these are people that have lived on Earth since human life began.
So they've just been kind of chilling, saying, not our problem.
Yeah, there are 5 protectors of Earth that have not made themselves known in all this time. So I don't know exactly what they're going to do with it. I didn't know we were getting an Eternals movie. But whatever. Marvel's been killing it so far. I'll watch the movie.
Oh, yeah, no, I'll see it, and I'm sure it'll end up being great, but...
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff they could do with an Eternals movie, but that's literally all we have as the director so far. All right, in the last little bit in movies and TV news, Netflix has announced a live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender TV show. So
Yay.
That worked out so well last time.
now I'm really happy that we're getting a live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender because I
Because they
think
can make up for last time?
last time.
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting. You don't acknowledge that.
Yeah, there's only one other Avatar movie, and it was James Cameron. It was blue people. What?
DC Universe is live.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
I thought, that's what I thought.
Why
But
ain't you watching Batman?
I don't know. I didn't know. I never got an email saying like, "Hey, by the way, you can start watching now."
maybe your pre-order
They
didn't go
wanted
through.
you to pay attention.
Well, we'll find out in one
They
second.
want-
My phone is on silent. It'll be fine.
They wanted you to pay for it, and then just...
I have to download an app. Jesus Christ.
I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that...
That doesn't surprise
How can
me.
you even possibly be surprised at that?
Right.
I was on Safari. I thought I was.
I wanted to watch Netflix. We may have to
Use a
download it.
Safari.
Apple
One must
users.
have
use
the
Chrome
internet to
too.
use the internet.
So anyway, Avatar: The Last Airbender, live-action television series on Netflix. They're bringing back the original writers and the original composer. M. Night Shyamalan has nothing to do with this film. All jokes aside, or this series, all jokes aside, like that was an atrocious failure where they made a movie loosely based on the cartoon.
Didn't they not even pronounce the main character's name correctly?
Several of the characters, instead of Aang and Sokka, it was Ung and Sokka.
What?
Soka.
Symbiote.
Yeah, they also changed how all of the bending effects worked.
They twisted instead.
Like it was really strange. It was a terrible film. Like I said, M. Night Shyamalan made a movie loosely based on the television show. It was so horrendously awful. Oh, I was so disappointed. I saw it in theaters. I was so excited.
Not when you left.
Oh no, it didn't even take me when I left.
It was like in the middle.
It was in the first 30 minutes when they started saying Ung and Sokka. And I was like, oh,
That's not... What? That's
why
not
did
what-
you do that? Well, let's keep watching and see what happens.
No.
Oh, this is all so bad. And it was also in like that late 2000s when CG was first starting to get kind of
Slightly better, but not quite.
right, but it was still that 2000 CG. It was
Like
not-
PS1 era, where it's like...
It was PS2 era.
You're trying.
But, like,
I see what you're
mid-generation?
doing.
Yeah, no, it was
One step above claymation.
Yeah,
In
it
some
was
cases,
pretty
the
bad.
claymation's still better.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, significantly in a lot of cases. But anyway, I'm really excited for this one though because the original writers are coming back and the original music composers.
I really wish that they hadn't... I get, like, licensing and stuff, but literally the weekend I had set aside to, like, start binging through Avatar, it was off of Netflix.
Yeah, and then
It probably happened well before that, but...
But it was when you wanted to watch
But that was when
it,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, you know what? I've like, because I have like 3 really, really close friends that all love it, and I want to watch it so I can like talk to them about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I can actually like, all right, I know it's on my. Why isn't it? Where is it?
I need to finally buy it and just lend it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew has it all on his Amazon Instant.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know why I don't own it. I should do that. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah,
You
just
should
go
buy
ahead.
it
Pull up
if
your
you
phone.
like.
You got a laptop right there.
Just make that happen.
It'll show up in 2 days.
Just don't buy it in
Right.
4K, please.
That feels a little
Your system can play
pointless.
4K.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I actually did forget about the S will can play. Does
Yeah.
it play 4K Blu-rays?
Yeah.
Huh.
The S does. The PS4 Pro doesn't.
I knew that. Because
I'm
That
both.
still blows my
really
mind.
dumb.
It blows my mind.
it's
I
Sony.
also don't have a 4K TV, so it doesn't bother me too much.
I don't
Yeah,
either. Well, I just meant like because I forgot that the.
He
that'll
didn't know he had a
play.
player for it.
That's why we both bought it. That's 2 Black Fridays ago. That's why we both bought one.
The 1S.
Or that was my justification.
Oh, I didn't buy one for the 4K at all.
Oh,
I
I
bought
did.
one because I wanted an Xbox, and like because we wanted to, there was something we wanted to play on Xbox,
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
Oh, yeah, I can't think of what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, this next portion of our podcast is brought to you by our wonderful friends in Perryville, Missouri at Villainous Grounds. Stop by there for all your comic book and comic book adjacent needs, or even just for a cup of coffee and a great conversation. All right, Boom Studios has picked up that Buffy the Vampire Slayer license.
Aren't they also the ones who are doing the relaunch of Firefly?
Yes.
Okay.
And in fairness, they did a lot of really cool things with Power Rangers.
Yes.
That was like
they did a lot of.
I mean, they're
things with
still
Power
doing
Rangers.
things with Power Rangers, aren't they? Like, it's still Boom Studios.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not as cool though.
They
And
just
see-
wrapped up their big crossover.
It was okay.
I was about to say, because I heard the alternate White Ranger dude they brought in was...
Lord Dakin?
Yeah.
Dakin?
Yeah, I heard
He
that dude
looks-
was awesome.
He looks cool.
They made an action figure, but you had to be at like the Power Coin Con or whatever the hell it's called to get one.
I dropped that run after he was introduced because it turned it into a alternate timeline, time travel, alternate dimension, and I'm like, I'm out. That's not what I want in a Power Ranger story. So
Fair enough. 'Cause, yeah, I knew he was the big bad guy, and apparently he is an amazing bad guy.
yeah, he's super cool. I mean, it's an interesting idea, but I haven't read enough of his stuff to really be able to.
So either way, yeah,
more into
they've been doing stuff with Power Rangers. They're picking up a lot of licenses, weirdly. But yeah, Boom Studios has picked it up. They gave us a promotional poster, which has Buffy standing in front of a school, holding a smartphone and a steak, wooden steak. Importantly, not a meat kind. And
The coloring on it
Steak.
seemed a little weird.
yeah, the coloring was kind of funky, and it says high school as hell.
Well, duh.
I get it.
So it's making a lot of people believe that they're rebooting for this comic book series, which would be a huge deal because the comic book that's been running built off of the TV show and has been running for a few years. So I mean, they've got like effectively, I think they were even going by seasons. They've got like 16 seasons worth of Buffy that they're rebooting.
Wow.
Yeah,
Who's
that's a
doing
lot.
Buffy currently? Is it still Boom?
It was Dark Horse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dark Horse gave up the license a few months ago now, and yeah, Boom Studios picked it up, and they gave us that promotional poster.
I mean, I get like it's a new company. You want to reboot this. You want to put your own spin on it. And honestly, as long as if Dark Horse is able to give a satisfying conclusion.
Oh, it's already done.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there hasn't been a new Buffy in a few months now
Okay.
because Dark Horse straight up lost the license.
Oh, so it's not like they had time to really.
Yeah, I don't
Just
think
like,
it
oh, hey,
ended.
time's up.
Okay,
Ding.
that's a bummer.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not positive about that. They may have known the license was coming up and they weren't going to renew, or the license may have been taken from them.
Like
I'm
yanked
really
out from
not
underneath
sure.
them?
Yeah.
Well, one of those things could be like a really nice way of like, okay, no, the fans have their send off and it's good. Otherwise, that might have been like that last season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and all of a sudden you're canceled. Like, what?
Hold on a minute. Back up. So, yeah, we don't know pretty much any other detail with that. Like, we don't know a release date for the first issue or anything like that. Just know that it's coming. So, for fans of Buffy out there, if you haven't been checking out the comic book, there's a new one coming. And you could possibly jump into it. Let's see. Tom King tweeted out that he's going to get to write Blue and Gold, referring to Blue Beetle and Booster Gold.
Ooh.
We're not sure if that's going to be the title of the book or if it's just going to be a spin-off for the new Crisis, but
Yeah,
I know who one of those are.
I
Blue
don't.
Beetle and Booster Gold?
Yeah.
I'm guessing Blue Beetle?
Yeah.
Oh, Booster Gold's so much fun though.
Booster Gold is a lot of fun. I want to get excited because I really like Booster Gold, and I really really like him and Ted Kord together.
Yeah.
So if that's what we're getting in like an ongoing, sign me up. But I really just think part of me doesn't want to get excited for things, so I'm just like, oh, he's just writing that chapter of the big event book that's coming out.
Yeah.
I've learned it's safer to not get excited.
Especially when comic books are concerned.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
he didn't really follow up with what he meant by that. Just he was
Right,
going
it
to
was
be.
just that.
He was writing something featuring those two characters.
Yep. And Booster Gold, interesting character. He's a douchebag from the future
Okay.
that is obsessed with heroes, works in a museum of a bunch of classic hero stuff, stole a bunch of tech, went back in time to meet his heroes, and just kind of tried to become one.
So how is he a good guy?
I mean, he's a good guy.
He does
ish.
good.
But he's okay.
Sometimes he does a little bit of harm when he's doing a lot of good.
All right.
his intentions may not be great.
Well, his intentions are usually great.
Well, his intentions are, I need to do good to impress like my heroes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like,
And then you have like his wedding present to Batman.
Oh no.
that was rough.
That was rough.
I loved that though.
Oh.
Apparently, that is a very divisive. Not only is it a divisive interpretation of Booster Gold, apparently Tom King's Batman run is not as
well loved as it is around here.
yeah.
I say around here amongst our friends group that are reading it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I've also heard that a lot of people are really upset at a lot of things he's done. Mm-hmm. So, whatever. I'm loving it.
No, yeah.
Keep it coming, Tom. Killmonger is getting a 5-part miniseries to debut in December, written by Michael Cray with art by Juan Perea. This will be an interesting...
I think it's called Rise of the Killmonger.
Yeah, and it's going to be an entire like prequel series basically setting up how he became a villain after being exiled from Wakanda. Mm-hmm. It will not be anything like what you saw in the movie, folks, just so you're aware. The art might make him look similar, like they might make him look like Michael B. Jordan, but it's going to be a very different set of stories.
Yeah. Unless they go and do some retconning.
Right, which they very well could. They very well could retcon, because in the comic books, Killmonger was exiled, not his dad. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Death of Daredevil is the next Daredevil arc from Charles Soule, the last Daredevil arc from Charles Soule, which I'm kind of upset about because that run has been incredible.
You've loved that run.
So much. Yeah, starting with the next issue in October on issue 609 will be Charles Soule's last... What? Will be Charles Soule's last arc with Daredevil. And he's calling it Death of Daredevil.
So I get that it's being called Death of Daredevil. Do you think they actually kill him, or is this just...
I don't think they kill him.
Somebody finds out his identity, so it's the
again?
death of... Yeah.
Well, I mean, come on. You can't just reveal Daredevil's identity.
I mean,
a sixth time. Surely not. No, like Charles Soule in the video they released was talking about how every major run has ended with Daredevil in some hot water. Mm-hmm. Like Bendis ended with Daredevil, I think was in jail or hell, one of the two. Well, because
I feel like one would be way worse than the other.
Is not like the other.
Or they may be exactly the same.
A Daredevil run ended with him in hell. Mm-hmm. I know that for sure. I don't think it was Bendis' run. I think Bendis ended with him in jail, and then Chris Samnee's run ended with his cover blown again in and living in San Francisco. I think he was living in California with his cover blown. He was not licensed to be a lawyer, and he was trying to Daredevil it up in another state, and ended up at the beginning of Charles Soule's run. Got his identity back in the bottle, though with probably the best explanation for how it happened.
What was it?
Do you really want to know?
Yeah. I'm not going to go back and reread all of it. There's too much.
After the show.
Okay,
just in case there's somebody that wants to read
it.
That's fine. So, yeah, probably the best one there. And then, Charles Soule's going to end it. Like he said, he wants to end it with Daredevil in some hot water. And being dead would certainly be hot water, but he never explicitly said Daredevil will die. He just said, and that's what I'm going to explore in Death of Daredevil.
Can you truly call being dead hot water?
I think they're just going to...
I mean, if he goes to hell again.
Okay, fair enough.
I imagine it because, like, right now they're probably going to resolve the arc with Kingpin in some way. Mm-hmm. And my guess is that he's going to get outed again because that appears to be tradition with Daredevil. Because right now Kingpin is mayor. And Daredevil has figured out that the Kingpin rigged the election to the surprise of literally no one.
What?
Right? Kingpin rigged the election. So
no, never.
Yeah, so Daredevil now is trying to figure out how to prove that.
It's called Death of Daredevil, and he likes it when he's in hot water. Daredevil's getting boiled alive.
Ew.
Call him a shot.
Sizzle.
Real quick, this is like a breaking story. There is a since deleted tweet from the founder of Boom Studios, where he says he's in final talks to helm and act a show for Activision Blizzard for Netflix about Daredevil, Diablo.
Really?
Because last we heard that was just a rumor.
I was really hoping for Overwatch at the end of that sentence.
No.
I would also like that, but
Overwatch has
Diablo
enough
cool
news.
too.
Let something else have news.
Netflix
But I
Netflix
can't-
responded
I want
with no
Diablo.
comment to IGN.
Somebody got fired that day.
Somebody from Boom Studios even.
Oops.
This would have been like the showrunner
No, yeah.
and
Somebody-
the founder of Boom Studios.
No, he didn't get fired from nothing.
Oh.
You
Some
got a
people,
slap on the wrist.
Andrew Cosby.
whoever is in charge of his social media got fired.
That could be. All right.
Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle.
The last bit of comic book news I want to talk about, just a caution for those that are looking into Batman Damned, which we've talked about on this show numerous times.
Dalton, quit squirming.
It's the Black Label team up of Batman and Constantine.
Yes. It's supposed to be, it is an M-rated book with mature content, mature language, violence,
So, like, they say the F word a couple times, right?
and a little bit of nudity.
What?
At least the first run, and this is also important for you collectors out there, because word on the street is it's going to be censored in future printings. So, I guess full disclosure, as politely as I can put it, Batman's penis is drawn in detail in the book.
Hanging brain.
He is hanging brain.
I love that you say as mature as I can say it, and then Asa.
I mean, bats sleep upside down.
All right, so that's in the book, and at least in the first run, and then the second printings and forward, it will be censored out. So
Yeah, because we knew they were doing the like you said before the show, the White Knight,
yeah,
where it was the naked Harley that they covered it with text bubbles before the book was released.
yes,
So we couldn't come to an agreement, and we probably should have looked it up before the show, but we didn't. Here we are. So either it will or it will not feature the Batpeen.
I am 100 or 99.98% certain that the first run will have bat penis
See,
in it.
and that's what I mean. Like that's what I thought happened is they released it the first wave of issues, and then it has the uncensored artwork. But then every variation of the book that is released after this first initial run will be censored in some way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's accurate. So yeah, for collectors out there, make sure you get one. Even if you weren't interested in the series, that book could be worth money and could be hard to find if at some point you decide you want to get it. Now, that being said, it probably will come back in the there will be an uncensored trade similar to what they did with White Knight, where White Knight is going to be uncensored. You'll get that naked Harley shot with
Okay.
the speech bubbles in a different spot. So it very well could happen in the trade whenever they release that Batman's penis will be back in all its glory.
All right, so for like, it's not. So yeah, I had to turn Safe Search off on my phone.
Please tell me you just Googled Batman's penis.
I was going to say
because the amount of stuff you have to scroll through.
Oh,
DeviantArt
Yeah.
is not
I put Batman Damned uncensored.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Everybody
you better
wanna
be
see it?
very specific.
No,
I've seen it.
I don't want it
We're
spoiled.
gonna get a whole bunch of fangirl yowie.
There's a lot of that. A lot of that on the internet.
No,
Yeah,
I'm picking the book up on Friday.
All right.
I don't need it spoiled.
I'm also picking it up on Friday.
I'm
You just couldn't wait. You just couldn't wait.
I didn't actually know what I was looking at until I clicked it, and then I was like,
So I'd
well,
say
I mean,
something
like,
about Batman.
No, I knew what I was looking at when I clicked it, but I didn't know what it was going to be because I was on Reddit
Oh, okay.
and I was just opening images,
That
and
could
then I
be
hit that one.
dangerous.
It is sometimes.
Especially when you're on like r/comic books, because there's not a separate spoiler tag. If it's a spoiler, it's marked not safe for work.
Yeah.
So if you're just going through a traditionally safe for work subreddit and something is marked not safe for work, it just means it's a spoiler. And if he doesn't particularly care about, the actual
spoiler.
story or the spoiler of it, he'll just click on it and all of a sudden,
Oh, hi.
Or if I'm browsing Reddit in general and I don't really care if I click on something, because my Reddit in general, like if it's not safe for work, like as in it's got, usually
Nudity.
not safe for work means there's like some lewd material. I don't subscribe to any subreddits that have outright nudity. So if I see not safe for work, I know it's something lewd-ish. So I just click through my images and stuff like that, and then I hit that one. I'm like, that's a penis. And then I looked at the post title.
And
I'm like,
it's not
oh,
one that Shannon sent to you.
that's true. That
You
is
should
true.
have sent it to. You should have sent it to Shannon. Is this hot?
So yeah, just full disclosure for those out there, if you're thinking about picking up Batman Damned and that's an issue to you, wait for the second printing. Otherwise, if you want to collect it or you want to see it, go ahead and grab that first issue.
Or you can just type in Batman Damned Uncensored and just go to images.
Just hit up Villainous Grounds. Call them. If they've got extra copies, they can set one back for you.
One of my friends wanted a copy of it, so I have 2 in my box right now.
There you go. All right, guys. That's going to do it for comic books. Video games now.
I get to say the coolest sentence I've ever, that's ever been said.
Okay.
Eventually.
We'll get there in a second. First, this portion of our podcast is brought to you by our friends Josh and Alan of Press Start to Join. You can find all of their podcasts plus their social media links at ps2jshow.com. I highly recommend checking out the History of Gaming episodes the last Wednesday of every month. They upload a new one. All right, so I just want to real quick shout out to Spider-Man is the fastest selling Sony exclusive. Took that title from God of War, having only had it for a very limited time.
Half the year.
Yeah. Right now it's at 3.3 million copies sold.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is amazing because then, when I looked at my platinum this morning, it was 7% of people have earned this. It's 7% of 3.3 million.
Wow.
Yeah. If they've connected
That's
it online.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's an insane
Yeah, that's only
number.
the ones who have synced it.
Yeah. Also, this has earned a much more important accolade. Jesse Kimball's very first platinum trophy
I thought it was going to be Spider-Man penis.
of any PlayStation game. And I have had a PlayStation 3 since the Slim model released. So I've had PlayStation games for a long time. This is the first platinum I've ever gotten.
You just don't work hard enough.
I don't usually care. But I loved Spider-Man so much that I 100% completed the game. I don't do that in single-player games, especially sandbox single-player games.
And this one this one is just so easy to do.
Yeah, it's not a difficult platinum.
Not at all.
And it was fun to do. I did not feel grinded at all playing through all this.
I didn't feel grinded, but I did absolutely hate by the end of some of those challenges.
No, that's fair. I did not redo. The only challenge I redid was the very first one because I desperately wanted I thought I needed to get better. And I redid that one 5 or 6 times and then gave up on it. And I didn't redo a challenge after that. I just finished it and called it done. So, moving on from that, I just wanted to touch on the Call of Duty Blackout. Asa and I got in the beta for that as well. We played it a little bit last weekend after the show. My review, I have to preface this with, I do not like Battle Royale games. I don't like Fortnite. I don't like PUBG. These games are not for Jesse. That said, I liked it more than PUBG or Fortnite because it gave me, the battle, that Battle Royale mode, but with Call of Duty physics and Call of Duty shooting and Call of Duty graphics, which looks significantly better than PUBG or Fortnite. Of course, it has the benefit of costing $60, but still.
I mean, so does PUBG.
PUBG's only 30. Oh, no, they did up it to 60, didn't they?
I have no idea.
Because for a while it was 30.
I'm on it.
I didn't even know it was 30.
Yeah,
I just assumed it was 60 flat out.
Yeah, Fortnite's free. PUBG, I think, is 30, unless it went up in price, which I would not doubt for a second. But either way, it was fun. I'm sure, for people that like those Battle Royale modes, you will probably have a blast with this.
Yeah.
But was not for me.
And same thing. I don't traditionally enjoy the Battle Royale style game. I don't understand how people are good at them. It seems so random, and you can, I don't know. It's not a game mode for me.
No.
Depending on who I'm playing with, if Shannon for whatever reason decides he really likes it, because I know you won't, but or Dalton or something. If I find a group of people who get really into it, it was definitely more fun playing with you and those couple games I played with Shannon than trying to do it solo, because I did that a couple times too.
Yeah.
It looks like it's 30 still.
But I would probably spend some time with it, but not of my own volition. That's why I'm really glad that team deathmatch and
and I'm really glad that they
normal multiplayer.
Basically, they took one mode out of the game that I wasn't going to play and replaced it with another mode I'm not going to play.
What was the mode they took out?
Story.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have a campaign, which I'm A-okay with. But either way, it's got a lot of unique features to it. It's different enough from PUBG and
I've seen a lot of people.
Fortnite,
I've seen a lot of people say that it's basically PUBG if PUBG was made well.
Yeah, I could see that because it's got the vehicles and stuff like that the PUBG does. It doesn't have the building mechanic that you have in Fortnite,
which I do not miss at all.
Right, you've got like it adds in the one big unique thing to it is the zombie area that it throws in. Plus, the map is made up a lot of legacy Black Ops maps, which is kind of cool. So you can actually land in firing range.
Shannon was so excited. When he's like, they have something called firing range. Let's go there. And then he's walking. He's like, wait, this is firing range.
Yep.
And he was just so happy.
Which is his favorite map from Black Ops. So, yeah, no, it was really cool.
Isn't there like a Nuketown Island?
Yep, there's Nuketown Island, which isn't quite Nuketown. There's one spot on it that's Nuketown.
But they expanded it because that map's traditionally really small.
And it's also like post-blown-up Nuketown, so everything's in like ruins.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, it's neat, but again, not for me. Let's see, we got Red Dead Online. Is launching in November as a public beta.
So basically, Rockstar is saying, yeah, so Grand Theft Auto 5 Online was garbage. It was broken, and it was terrible. So Red Dead is going to be the same. We're just going to say it now.
Yeah.
So you play the beta to help us fix everything. Hopefully it doesn't include 5-minute load times. I'm really hoping that it isn't as predatory in the microtransaction sense, but I am not holding my breath even a little bit.
Yeah, no. It's one of those things like the online is the only part of Red Dead that I really care about. So if it's any good, once it gets good is probably when I'll pick up the game. But yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head there. Like it's exactly what they did with GTA Online, except this time they're being upfront with it's going to be hot garbage for a little while.
Yep.
As opposed to last time, it's done, guys, play it.
Although they did say that the entire game will be playable in first person.
Yeah,
from launch,
I did see that.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, they put that. They actually have the first-person mode in from the beginning, which is nice. Telltale Games has declared bankruptcy. They have a skeleton crew sticking around for the Netflix Minecraft story mode, but other than that, everybody showed up to work and was told to hit the door.
Yep. No severance, no
PTO,
benefits.
no payout.
Yeah, it is a very terrible situation that those people have found themselves in.
Yeah, no. Telltale Games has earned themselves a title that we'll give them on Thursday.
Yeah,
yeah, because this was
Those
straight
of you
up
that listen
rude.
know what it is.
Also, apparently, a lot of people are taking to Twitter and complaining to the employees about how now they're not going to get the final season of The Walking Dead or Wolf Among Us Season 2, and if you're one of those people, you're trash. It's not like that's a choice they made.
Yeah, no, you complain to the Telltale execs. They're the ones that
shuttered the studio.
Yeah. No, that's real dumb because, there's so many games, there's so many stories that they have built up over the years that aren't getting finished. The Batman's not getting finished.
That makes me so sad.
Guardians of the Galaxy's not getting finished.
I haven't finished the first one.
Walking Dead's not getting finished, and that's what put them on the map.
And that's their big one, too, because that's its final season is what was supposed to release.
Yep. And, that's just not happening. There's a possibility that somebody will pick it up.
Come on, THQ Nordic.
Yeah, or Blizzard was apparently talking to at the very least, talking to some of the employees about picking them up.
See, and that is one thing that was really cool to see is Guerrilla Games and Ubisoft and I feel like there was another one that
Blizzard did.
I know, but Ubisoft straight up said, hey, if you are in the San Francisco area, come to this place at this time on Sunday, and bring your resume and talk to us. And they were basically just doing a job fair.
Yeah.
Of just open interviews, which was super cool. And Guerrilla Games did something similar, I think it was, or maybe it was Santa Monica. I feel like it was one of those Sony developers.
I have no idea.
Which is cool if those people are getting picked up for work.
Yeah, because so many people are now just completely
we said,
jobless, totally jobless with no severance, no safety net aside from whatever savings they may have.
Right, and I mean California is an expensive place to live.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
even with a job as a game dev, a lot of people still live paycheck to paycheck.
Yep.
So that's a real bummer. Let's see, PlayStation Classic Mini was announced. It's hitting December 3rd. Coming with 20 games preloaded. It's going to be $100. It'll come with 2 controllers. They will not be DualShock. HDMI cable and a USB cable for power, but it does not come with a power brick. So you either have to use a USB adapter you have at home or buy one separately. We haven't gotten the full list of games, but so far we know it's going to have Final Fantasy VII, Jumping Flash, Ridge Racer Type 4, Tekken 3, and Wild Arms. So if those games appeal to you and you think having a classic PS1 next to your NES and SNES Mini is worth $100.
It'll get added in with ours because Shannon buys all of them.
Yeah.
He sure does.
Which I have no room to talk because I was playing Pokemon Pinball on the big TV last night and it was awesome.
but that wasn't one of the games that originally came on it.
Well, he has his ways.
Did they? Did we mention that they announced that they're not going to support the, like, there's not going to be any games added to it, like it's not going to have any internet?
Yeah, it will not have PlayStation Network support, so there will not be any post-launch games. It's going to come with those 20, and that'll be it.
Mm-hmm. Which, this is, for a collector item, it's fine. Like for people like Shannon who like to collect those.
I still feel the price tag is a little high.
Price tag is way too high. I don't understand why there's 2 controllers. Because it's not.
There's gonna have a couple of fighting. Well, Tekken 3 is gonna be on it,
right?
So,
but I would rather it be cheaper.
I have to buy
and
a
only
second
have
controller.
one controller.
Yeah,
because
like,
what was the SNES Classic was 80, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
And it came with 2 controllers.
SNES was 80, came with 2 controllers, and had 21 games. NES Classic had 1 controller, came with 30 games.
I don't remember.
25 to 30.
I think it had 30. I thought the NES Mini or the SNES Mini had 31.
The SNES only had 21.
20.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, that one was $60.
Yeah, NES was 60, SNES was 80. This one's going to be 100 with 2 controllers that aren't even the best controllers that you have. The Reddit comparison that I kept seeing is the one that I cannot say is wrong. It is a more expensive, worse PS TV.
Yeah, because a lot of that is open up from the PlayStation or the PlayStation Network. You can download a lot of those games for, on average, $7 a piece.
Yeah, and a lot of people saying, like, why don't you just give us backwards compatibility in our PS4s?
Or a lot of people still have their PS1 collection.
That too. But I mean, the same could be argued there with, like, the NES and SNES. But yeah, no, I know
it's just
Sony
laziness factor that people don't want to get up and put in a disc.
It's the collecting factor of it. Of just they know that like they're making money, or Nintendo made money hand over fist with those 2 classic systems. So they're like, wait a minute, we can do this too.
And Sony wants to jump in on that trend.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, there is the absolute collector's market that will never plug it into their TV. It'll just be there on the shelf next to the other systems that they have. But the NES and the SNES had the advantage of having those really, really great games that aged wonderfully.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think there's hardly any of those PlayStation 1 games that will have aged anywhere near that well.
And see, that's what I was talking about, like in the group chat. I mentioned that assuming there's one particular feature for the PlayStation that's going to be similar with the NES and Super Nintendo, the game library would not necessarily be an issue to you. And you know what I'm talking about. If you don't worry about it. But I cannot think of 20 PS1 games that have aged well enough for me to want to replay.
Right. Well, and plus, you're not going to be able to put every single one of those other games that you could think of on your PS1 because those ROMs are going to be way more. There's way more memory.
Right, and we have no idea how much internal storage this thing is going to have.
Because depending on, if it doesn't have a lot of that internal storage, you might just kind of be SOL.
Very possible. So, yeah, I don't know. We don't have, like, those kind of details yet. But either way, like, I see this as being a miss for Sony. I'm sure some people are excited about it, and, good for you. I'm happy for you. But,
Did I see that the pre-orders were already sold out?
I don't know if they're sold out, but they're up. Yeah, we'll go ahead and move on from that. A little bit more Sony news. They took a page out of Microsoft's book and have started allowing users to download PS4 and PS2 games available on PlayStation Now. Unfortunately, PlayStation Now does not. I believe it still doesn't support PS3 games, right?
No.
I'm not wrong in that?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's pretty much been exclusively a PS1 game service.
Right. Well, it's also, they've done PS2 and PS4.
Yeah.
For PlayStation Now.
Which you could stream, but you're only just now able to download them.
Right, exactly. Basically, it's been a worse version of the Microsoft Game Pass, and now it's a slightly worse clone of the Microsoft Game Pass. Because
but they'll take it.
You can't get, on the Microsoft Game Pass, you can get original Xbox and Xbox 360 games, versus the PlayStation Now offers you the ability to download PS4 and PS2 games. So it's cool that they're at least giving that concession, because for the most part they have been just letting Microsoft make all these consumer-friendly decisions, and Sony's just like, well, we don't need to do any of that.
Because we're winning.
Because we're winning and we don't have to. So
also, right now you can still pre-order it on at least Best Buy and GameStop. So
yeah, which doesn't surprise me. I do not see this being near as hot as the SNES or NES Mini.
Yeah.
But anyway, and the last little bit of news we want to talk about so that Asa can say his sentence, we got a new Devil May Cry 5 trailer.
Did you see the new Pokemon?
No.
No, it's on Pokemon Go, apparently.
Oh, the bolt or the little nut.
Yeah, it's on Ditto. The body is Ditto, and then there's a nut, and then it's just
an eyeball
eye.
thing inside the bolt.
Okay.
Or the nut.
Yeah, it was like in the Pokemon Go.
And importantly, like a metal nut, not like a...
Yeah, not like a tree nut or peanut.
Yeah,
or
like something you
anything.
would screw onto a bolt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll get it pulled up for. But yeah,
Okay.
It was actually unveiled with Pokemon Go. Like you were able to catch it, I think, this weekend on Pokemon Go.
I'm about to say.
I didn't think you were able. I thought it was data mined from Pokemon Go.
I'm pretty sure I saw a.
It shouldn't be in a black. It shouldn't be on a black
Sadie-
background, but
Sadie
it's this.
caught it a couple times.
I was about to
did
say
you?
it's because I saw some Instagram
What the heck?
stories with people seeing them and
Okay.
catching them.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I know Shannon and Allie did, but they were all dittos when they came up.
Yeah, that was the same thing. They were all dittos when they came up too.
Yeah.
Huh, that's super weird.
Yep.
That's
so
But yeah,
creepy.
I
that's a
did.
thing.
That looked dumb. But yeah, okay, sorry.
So Devil May Cry 5 got a new trailer.
Sure did. Tokyo Game Show.
And yeah, no, it's super
Okay,
edgelordy.
I'll take it over. I'll take it over from here.
Thank you.
Don't worry, I got you.
I thought you were going to.
It is the cringiest, cheesiest, most hot topic-y, edgelord nonsense I have ever seen, and I am here for it. It looks so stupid, but I love it. The game itself is gorgeous, especially once you get to the second half of the trailer and they're out of like whatever demon dimension. They're just out in like the real world and forest and stuff. It looks gorgeous, but I love that style of gameplay. The just like air combos and
yeah, the
but
super
most-
over the top beat 'em up stuff is super fun.
But most importantly, at a certain point, you see, I don't know if it's Dante or not, but you see one of the protagonists riding a motorcycle, because of course they are.
Well, yeah.
Because how
How
else
else
do you,
would they get around?
right, how else do you let people know that you're a total badass than be on a motorcycle?
That's what Taker had to do.
And then, at a certain point, he hits someone with the motorcycle, but when he does it, it splits in half, and the motorcycle is swords.
Jesus Christ, that is awesome.
It's my favorite thing. It's like, but it's also like chainsaw-y because the wheels are still like spinning and it's like cutting into people. Did you not watch the trailer?
No.
Oh, we need to pull that,
That
up.
sounds like some really messed up physics.
I'm
I
on
mean,
it.
yes,
Yeah.
but listen, you are not. If you're coming into
Devil May Cry looking for physics.
looking for realistic anything,
I know.
you're gonna be sorely
Is it
disappointed.
Devil May Cry 5?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yes, the Devil May Cry 5.
My
TGS.
phone's on silent. We're good.
After the show.
But it's so.
But he wants to see it now because he's impatient.
That's
the
true.
the other guy has the arm. That's
Yeah, Nero.
Nero has
Yeah.
the other arm. We got a look at the super like, you know how Emo, the protagonist of Final Fantasy 15, looks.
yeah.
Imagine he got like his grandma gave him a $200 Hot Topic gift card for his birthday.
So there's just a whole bunch
So
of
it's-
pleather and chains and studs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And rings and rings.
Yeah.
So he looks like he's probably going to be maybe the antagonist. He got a weird little post-credit scene deal. But yeah, you're dual wielding half a motorcycle.
Yeah, no, the game looks
It-
incredibly fun and super pretty, super edgelordy. Because
Like-
in the background of this entire video, it's worth noting that there is some generic scream metal going on.
Mm-hmm.
Eh.
No, yeah, again, just adding to the atmosphere of like,
This is very much 2004, like peak.
yeah, because Dante still has a bowl cut, like or not? Yeah, no, it's a bowl cut.
It's kind of a bowl cut.
Yeah, Dante's still rocking a bowl cut, like a little bit longer now.
He turned into a demon.
Yeah, you got you saw a little bit of the Devil Trigger.
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome. I've never played
Yeah.
these games before.
really?
Yeah.
They're really fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Well,
guys.
one and not 2. Don't play 2.
Okay.
Yeah. 3 is fun.
2 is an
4
abomination.
Pretty good. But anyway, that's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Asa, Dalton, and Lindsay for joining me. And we'll see you guys next time.